But before anyone decides to engage in this compassionate crusade, understand there is one important stipulation that you must adhere to. All of your prejudices must be extinguished. There is no room for any racism, sexism, heterosexism, or, of course, speciesism, which might be a new word to most people today. Speciesism, the unfounded, unethical, and unprincipled view that the human animal has every right to mistreat, exploit, and murder the non-human animal. And just like the previous isms, speciesism lacks coherent thought and is a narrow-minded view of the life that comprises this planet. Nobel Prize winner Isaac Bashevis Singer, who escaped Nazi-occupied Poland and lost family members in concentration camps, once called speciesism the purest form of racism. 2,600 years ago, the great philosopher Pythagoras said this about speciesism: as long as humans continue to be the ruthless destroyer of other beings, we will never know health or peace. For as long as people massacre animals, they will kill each other. Indeed, those who sow the seed of murder and pain will never reap joy or love. Now, after studying those statements and others, I now understand that speciesism is the root of all hatred, of all violence, of all discrimination that exists on this planet. And we will never destroy the branches of hatred like racism, sexism, and heterosexism unless we destroy violence and hatred and bloodthirstiness at its root, and that root is speciesism. The first form of hatred that human beings are taught is to eat the animal. Translation, mistreat the animal. Translation, hate the animal. Translation, view the animal as an inanimate object and a mere commodity. Before anyone is ever taught to hate or discriminate against a gay person, they are taught to hate and discriminate against animals. Before anyone is ever taught to hate or discriminate against a certain race or ethnicity, they are taught to hate and discriminate against animals. Before any man is ever taught to mistreat a woman.
Human beings claim to be compassionate, claim to know better, and then we turn around and do the same horrible things to the animals that we've done to each other that logical people now condemn. What we've done to blacks, what we've done to women, what we do to homosexuals. It is time to eradicate all forms of discrimination once and for all, from speciesism down the line. But let me point this out too. You're never going to get rid of racism, sexism, heterosexism, anti-Semitism until you destroy discrimination at its root, and that root is speciesism. It's the first form of hatred human beings are taught. Before any white person is ever taught to hate a black person, if they are taught that, before any man is ever taught to hate and dominate a woman, if they are taught that, they are taught to eat the cow, eat the pig, eat the chicken, disregard this animal, love the dog, love the horse, be sad for the rhino, love the elephant, but fuck those fish. It's all backwards. If you want to get rid of all the forms of hatred, get rid of speciesism. Because think about this, you got a 2-year-old kid in your house, there's a spider in the house. I mentioned this earlier. I don't like spiders either. They freak me out, but I don't want to kill them. So when the little girl, the little boy starts crying because the spider's on the wall, say, hey, okay, we're going to catch him in a cup. We're just going to move him outside because that spider has every right to live just like you and I have every right to live. You teach them justice and teach them to respect the weakest, even most insignificant of creatures, a mouse, a chicken. Think about this. If you teach that to a child, when that child grows up and sees different sizes, shapes, and colors of human beings, how do they learn to hate them? Because that's what it boils down to. Discrimination, speciesism. It's all based on sizes, shapes, and colors. And you want to treat certain sizes, shapes, and colors better than other ones. No, you treat everyone equally. That's all vegans, that's all animal rights people want, is equality. If you're doing things to animals that you would never do to humans, then it's bullshit. For instance, last week got the hunting question, but the deer are starving to death, which, by the way, is near complete bullshit. But even if they were starving to death, how is your solution to murder them? Wouldn't you feed a starving being? That's what you try to do with humans who are starving. So if you're not going to treat humans the same way you treat animals, you have speciesism, you have injustice. So it's time to treat everybody in the same exact way that you would want to be treated. Do unto others. The golden rule is something that meat, dairy, egg, and honey eaters never do. They talk a good game, but they don't walk that talk.
And I hope you'll have the same revelation that I did. The nonviolence through veganism, nonviolence through animal liberation, is the only ethical and acceptable way to live on this planet.